few years ago, it was actually in 2009, so a lot more than a few years ago, about 8 years ago, I watched a movie. I came across this movie called The Secret. Maybe you've heard of it. I'll link to it down there. It's a movie that is about visualization and the power of imagining and daydreaming, really, about stuff that you want and the kind of life that you want. And then there's a higher chance that that will actually happen. And when I watched that movie, I was high. I was high for like a month. I was very, very excited that I could actually just think about things and then they would become reality. I also went through a stage after that where, all right, it's a little more complicated than that, but looking back, this has been the driving force in everything. All the art I've made, all the goals I've achieved, it was all starting in the mind. If I didn't have that image of it, I would have another image, and that would happen. I wanted to become a fast soccer player because I knew that if you had speed on the field, then you could do anything. So I was that was on my mind always. And people said that you can't really become faster because it's a genetics. It's genetically determined how fast you're gonna be, how fast you will be able to run. But I wanted it so bad to change to run faster. So I read articles about it, and then I just dug in completely, 100%. I've always had these stages where I've been super interested in one thing, and it's usually an area of my life that I want to get better at. And I cut down my 40-yard dash from with a second in a couple of years, I think. I learned to run like 15% faster, maybe almost 20% faster, which is unbelievable. I was very happy about that development. And then there was pickup. Yeah, I'll call it pickup. I'm embarrassed calling it pickup, but yeah. But it's that. Picking up girls at clubs and stuff. That's also something I envisioned, something I really wanted to be good at because I was not. I was like the other side, I was the opposite of that. Not good with girls at all. I was so afraid of when hot girls or beautiful girls were walking by me. I would shake if they're sitting next to me. I would like, oh, I wish I could talk to her, but that's unheard of. I can never do that. I actually asked my psychologist. No, sorry. He asked me, what are the biggest fears? When do you feel the most fear? Social phobia kind of fear. And I said a 10 out of 10 would be sitting next to an attractive girl and then having to talk to her. That would be the end of the scale. And that was important to me. I was afraid of it. And it became a reality. I started actually digging myself down in a community and in an information field where weird people were and cool people, all kinds of dudes. But we had one thing in common: we wanted to get better with women. And some were, and some weren't, and some were, but were assholes. Some were, and were cool people. So I started going out, and I got better. That's the short story of it. And then there was, yeah, how the fuck did this YouTube thing happen? I always wanted to become an actor or a talk show host, someone on television to do comedy and acting, entertainment. This is what I really wanted with my life. And school presentations, I've been fine with doing that. I actually got excited when it was my turn because I had full control myself. Nobody was going to interrupt me. I wanted to become an entertainer in some way. And my plan was to figure out a way to make money on autopilot so that I didn't have to work next to my mission of going to auditions and trying to get movie or film acting work. And I didn't really made that happen, the internet, making money on the internet kind of thing. And one day, a friend of mine, Brian, he said, hey, I have this idea of what if we just did those things that we do, social experiment stuff. We'd like to screw around with people in public. He had this idea of filming it and then putting it on YouTube. And I said, we can do it, but I don't think anyone's going to watch it. I was wrong, people were watching it, and then that became my thing. Okay, I'm going to do this. Because I saw the response, and I saw that we were getting followers, we were getting more and more followers. And I knew that this is my thing. And I was envisioning that my whole life, you know, being on the screen and doing funny things or things I thought was entertaining. And that happened just out of the blue. I don't think that like someone up there was like, we're gonna give it to Fred since he wanted it so much. He's been praying to us for so long about this thing, so he's been a good guy. We're gonna just manipulate the world in a way that makes him get it. I don't think it happens like that, but the laws work like that actually, because when you envision something in your mind, then you start believing it, you start getting used to the experience. Let's say that as you want to overcome your social struggles, if you envision how you want people to react to you and how you want it to feel in a social situations, in your classroom, at your work, with a family, and at parties, at network events, at concerts, at the club. If you envision how that's gonna be and what's gonna happen, how people will respond to you, how people will look at you, the smiles that get thrown at you, the laughter, people laughing at your jokes, you're laughing together with them. If you envision what you want, what you desire, your mind will actually start, it's like a part of the brain that actually starts believing that it's real, because we don't know the difference between reality and what we visualize. They actually did a test on this with athletes, Olympic athletes. They wired them up with wires, and then they were going to visualize themselves doing the event that they were good at, that they were competing in, whether that was javelin or sprinting, swimming. They did the exercises. Let's say they were swimming. They got into such strong state of mind related to their activity that the same body symptoms that were happening in their activity when they were actually swimming were actually starting to happen while they were just visualizing it in a chair with their eyes closed. So their conclusion was that our brains don't know the difference between imagination and reality. Whether it's happening out there, whether we are actually making millions of dollars, or whether we're imagining making millions of dollars, or being free in the social world, making friends and getting girlfriends. If you watch that movie, that could be the exercise for today. I highly recommend it, and I think it's a little hype, there's a little too much hype. There was definitely reactions across the whole world. A lot of people were getting that same high that I was getting after I saw it the first time. But I really think it's true, not because God or whoever decides that okay, since you're asking us, then we're going to give it to you. But you will wear a different kind of face. You will instill your focus on that thing. If you close your eyes right now and you think about brown, the color brown, and then you open your eyes whenever you want, and then you look for brown everywhere. Brown everywhere. Look at the brown. Brown, 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 brown. You're probably not noticing those things. There were probably a few things, maybe the couch, but there were probably other few things that you didn't notice before I said focus on the word brown, or the color's brown. And it's a little bit like that. That's how it works with a visualization. Whenever you focus on something, it will kind of come to you. It's actually you going there. And it's more effortless, it's more inspired, it's like natural instinct. And if it's with people, with girls, I've used this years and years ago. I was using this, this is embarrassing to admit, but I'll do it anyway. If I liked a girl, I was imagining her liking me as well. And I meditated on this for maybe an hour a week or so. And what happened after that was that I would wear a totally different face, because I taught my brain that she liked me, and my brain wouldn't know the difference. Of course, there would be a difference in reality, but it would believe it more and more and more the more I meditated upon that she liked me. Maybe there is some freaky energy, you know, where you tap into a frequency, like a brainwave frequency, where she also meets you, which is like telepathy. Maybe there's something like that going on too. But I did notice a difference after I did this. If I liked someone, this process would just kind of happen on its own, and I felt different signals from those girls, because of the frequency, the brainwave stuff happening. But I don't know if that's true. I can't really argue for that, but I know for a fact that I also changed. So my brain would believe that she liked me, and therefore she would start to like me, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy. They call it a self-fulfilling prophecy in psychology. When you expect a behavior from someone else, it's more likely that they will start acting like that. So if you think someone is an idiot, you'll talk in a way that kind of makes them believe that they're idiots, and it'll reinforce your belief that they're idiots, which will make you act a certain way. Like you will maybe act like a smartass in comparison to them. And this is going on without you or them thinking about it, but they will also react and start acting stupid. And if you think they will like you back, there's a higher chance that they will like you. It's almost every time, I'd say 8, 9 out of 10 times, if you believe someone likes you, you will assume that they like you, and therefore you will act in a way that reminds them that, oh, this is a guy that I like, this guy because he acts like I like him. So, and then they start liking you. And this happens without you really thinking about it, either of you necessarily. It's super interesting. So just take that seriously, and watch that movie. Watch The Secret. It has changed a lot of people's lives, I think. But I think it's more because you change your whole intention. So everything you will do, everything you will focus on is that one thing. And then you will have this expression in your eyes, and you will look for those words related to that. And if it comes up in a conversation around you, you will throw yourself into that conversation and you will speak about it. And then you might meet someone who can help you with it, and then you make it happen. And it works. I think I've sold that principle on you enough. It's extremely powerful. Watch that movie now, and start visualizing your social life actually improving, and that girls like you if you're interested in that. You visualize the way that you want your life to be. And also for the social life, envision that too. How people will respond to you, laugh with you. That's powerful. So every day, just make this practice. Oh, it shouldn't really be a practice. It should be just normal daydreaming. But at least you're now aware that it's actually very useful. So daydreaming is not only... that's where ideas are born and creativity. Manifestation starts with a thought, with an image in somebody's mind. Watch The Secret. Visualize. When you think that they will like you, they will start liking you. Peace.